Well, hi everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and I am pleased to tell you that at last I am back home. For those of you who don't know, 6 months ago I literally had a house fire that required that I leave my home, and I just got back this week, and in fact just a couple of days ago. And I can assure you that about 48 hours ago, there were so many boxes in this kitchen that literally they were higher than I am, and I'm 5'7". And on this countertop, they were probably 3 deep and three high and 2 deep. And every room in the house looked like that. It was just an amazing sight. I think I could call it that. Anyway, what I have done is I try to take a lot of notes in the hope that I will answer some of your questions. And I'm pretty certain that you all will have your own questions on what has happened. And I'd be happy to answer as many of them as I can. And I thought what I would do is just give it to you in chronological order. And I say in chronological order. Hi, Trina, good to see you. And thank you so much, Trina, for welcoming me home. It's surely, I want to tell you, it's the little things, isn't it? It's like being able to open the cupboard door. I don't know why. And how about having my own mug back? I didn't, it was just like, it's just the smallest things that really have made such a difference to me. Hang on, I just want to get this computer set up a bit better now that we've got the cupboard door open. But I am very grateful to you all for being here, and also for encouraging me to do this and to give me the understanding that I just could not do a broadcast on Friday. I mean, you know how much I wanted to. And I thought, well, maybe I can't do the lunchtime one, but maybe, yeah, right, maybe I'll do the evening one. No. I tried, but I want to tell you there was nothing of me left. So are you happy that I just tell you the stories, in the sort of order that I put them down in? It might not be all slotted together in nice little neat piles, but at least you will know that some of the stories, and over the course of the next week, I will give you as many of these as I can, because I'm trying to take notes all the time, because there's so many little things that are happening that I just wanted to say, talk about stress. So you will remember when I last saw you, I actually had the furniture coming back in on Wednesday. So you know that I was here on Wednesday to see all the furniture come back in. And I want to tell you, that is a horrific moment. When first of all the furniture came back in, and you've got to get it in the right places. And I thought, that's interesting. Where is the frame to my bed? I bought a new mattress because I knew I was going to need one. But what happened to the adjustable frame? Never mind, they said it's still in the warehouse. They'll get it ready for tomorrow. I said, okay, fine. And then, it was just like, And my ottoman is missing. I have a couch with an ottoman on it, and that was missing as well. And so that was fine. And I'm sort of looking around because there were all sorts of little things. But take a deep breath, Sal. Take it easy. And very happy to get all the furniture back in. And the moving guys were wonderful. I've got to say that they were very patient with me. And then on Thursday, I moved out of the temporary, I went back on Wednesday night and finished packing, and I didn't go to bed until I was just about totally packed and literally a bit like I had arrived. I was ready with just the clothes I needed to wear. And everything else was, basically packed up. And I was quite surprised because Megan, who was the kind human being that helped me pack up when the fire happened, she packed up my whole house with some help. She arrived about an hour before the movers were due to arrive to take the stuff from the temporary house. And bless her heart, she had come to help me pack up the last minute stuff. of which there wasn't any. So actually, what we did is we closed some boxes. And that was really all that she needed to do. I lie. I asked if she could help me wrap up the printer. That was because to hold it and wrap it at the same time was a bit difficult for me. And so that is what she did. So that's it. Now, I've got a couple of tips for you. The first thing was to move out of that temporary housing. I needed to go downstairs, get my car, bring my car upstairs, then go back to the apartment, and then leave the fob and everything else that I'd had for 6 months, and then check out. And the other thing was that the moving guys arrived to take everything. And then I realized that Megan needed to be there to watch the moving guys do everything. That was her job. And I'm going, I don't need to be here. So I said to Megan, can you do the following for me? Once they've got everything out, and just, lock the door and shove the key under the door for me, because that's what needs to be done. And if so, then I can go to the house and start unpacking stuff that I need, stuff that I've got with me, the urgent stuff. And so that's what we did. So I delegated it. And so that was, hi, Becca, good to see you. And so I looked at it and I went, okay, fine. So I walked in and I was home. And I'm sure you can all imagine. And Jeannie, when you get home, when you open up that door again and you get to walk back into your house again, I know what that's going to feel like for you. And so it was an awesome feeling. And then you sort of look at literally, here I am surrounded by boxes above my head again. It was like deja vu from January a year ago, or February a year ago. So the other thing is that obviously, as we unpacked, there were things that I appear to have lost. And it's really sad, but it's amazing. It's the little things. I wanted to give you some examples. My Buddha, which is very fragile, survived, but the very top knot of his hat didn't. I don't know where that went. It's little things like that where you go, he is, I got him in Hong Kong, I think, when I was there on my honeymoon. And guess what? After all these years, and now the top is missing. So, it's, for those of you who are very sentimental, I'm certain you'll understand. Or how about, this? This is what it's meant to look like, and this is what this one looks like. And so, hi, Brenda, good to see you. So you see, I can't use it. So, but not the end of the world. Or my mini tea maker for making green tea, no lid. Or a food mill, one of those ones that you go like this. But so far, I have not been able to find any of the bits that go inside it. So I'm sure that's an ongoing problem that I'm going to have. But I'm pretty sure that I will never find, because they unwrapped those boxes and took them away. And so I'm not going to find the top to my Buddha. But it's not the end of my world, right? Now, I did spend some time making sure you got the same view of the kitchen, and the indoor garden I will talk about in a moment. But before I do that, I thought I would talk to you a little bit about some things that I learned about moving, just a couple of small things. First of all, that terrible moment where you've had the tape and you can't find where the end of it is, right? The interesting thing is, I discovered, hang on a second, I wonder if I can do this quickly or not, that if you take a rubber band I'm probably going in the wrong direction here. Okay, let me go in the other direction. It's not going to do it for me now, is it? Oh, there it goes. Okay, but if you take a rubber band, you can just, that's so funny. It did it every time for me. Can I feel where it is? Oh, that's rats. Never mind. Anyway, I can't believe that's not working. It did it for me so much all week. Oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it. But basically, it does normally work. Given less stress, I'm sure it will again. You get the idea, though. The other thing is dealing with boxes. Now, I'm pretty certain if you want to move a box and it's not too heavy, you lift it up like this and move it from A to B, right? Here's what I found out. If it's heavy, turn the flaps down and use the flaps like this to lift the box. And it's amazing, because these boxes, I'm talking about a bigger box, like a 2 cube. And it's amazing that just holding it like this, it'll pick up a whole box without too much trouble at all. You don't have to bend all the way down and get underneath it. You can literally take it up like this. MacGyver moment. All right, so I thought I'd let you know that. What else did I have for you? Oh, another important thing. I was on my feet for many, many, many hours. And one of the things that I found really helped me was as soon as my feet started to hurt, I changed shoes. All right. So it didn't matter which shoes I moved to. It was just that a new pair of shoes, your weight is in a slightly different place. Your muscles that you're using are slightly different, and your feet, are using different ones. Hi, Joan. It's good to see you. And so that's another thing. Change your shoes. And I literally had only 2 pairs of shoes, obviously, with me. I've now got so many shoes, people. And like clothes, I have choices. I don't have to do wash every 2 days. So exciting. Let me think here. What about shoes? Oh, and then I was talking to the packing people and unpacking people, and I said, what do they do? And they were saying the same thing, which is when their feet start to get tired, then they will take their shoes off and go barefoot for a while. So thought I'd mention that. And for those of you, I know some of you work in jobs where you're on your feet for a long time. So if you've got any tips on that as well, I'd be delighted to hear them. Becca's saying she loves when the kid in me comes out. I want to tell you something. The other part of me came out as well, Becca, this week. The not so nice one. And I'm about to tell you why. The only thing that really made me angry, I don't mind telling you, I got angry. And I was doing so well. I had contained myself so well through anything. But on Thursday, when I actually moved my stuff in that I bought from the other location, guess what? The bed frame still wasn't here. Now, I don't know about you, but it was the first thing that I said, that bed frame is still not here. Do we know why? And I was still very calm. Do we know why? Seek first to understand. And then Megan checked it out and she said, I've just heard from the warehouse that it was on your list of things to be destroyed. Now, you guys know me pretty well. You also know that I had 64 pages of stuff that was being destroyed, and I went through every item on it. Why? Because I needed to price it and get value for it, etc. I said that wasn't on my list. I assure you, had that been on my list, it would have been the first thing I ordered, not the mattress. The frame would have been the first thing that I ordered. So here I was at my age on Thursday with a mattress on the floor and no bed. So then I realized that I was arguing. They said they had sent me that in the list, and what I did was I stopped and I said, you know something? I'm not going to tell you that it isn't there. I literally called up the file and I said to Megan, please take a moment and go through. I know it's by number. Please go through and see if you can find it here. All right? Because I didn't ever see it. And I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying I didn't see it. And that's why I didn't order a new adjustable bed frame. And I said, take whatever time you need, because I want to make sure we've got this right. And she looked through the list and she said, Sal, it isn't there. And I said, exactly. And by the way, it turns out there are about 4 things that when they transferred the list, there were about 4 things that were to be destroyed that I don't know about yet. So I'm, quite honestly, other than the bed frame, it can't be that important at the moment. So I'll wait until Monday or Tuesday to find out the rest. All right, so can you understand I got a little bit angry? And the reason I got angry is at my age, getting off the floor is not easy. And then I decided to change my mentality and go, it's going to be good practice for me. And that's what I decided to do, was to literally say, this is going to be a week of good practice on how do I get up off the floor. Yes, Jody is saying, that's very understandable, the range of emotion. I got tears in my eyes even talking about it. Becca, wow, I can see why you got angry. Thank you for understanding. And Jonas is saying, even if there is a misunderstanding, I would think the bed frame would be something you double check before sending it to be destroyed. It isn't that. It actually was still in the warehouse. They have to keep it until I, sign off on what they may destroy, but it's in a section of stuff to be destroyed. And what they said to me is, and it's actually quite interesting, that was an adjustable bed and its own box spring all in one. In the old days, that's how they made them. And hey, you understand, once I'd sort of got over the shock of that, I just went, oh, I get a new bed frame. Do you understand? You just have to get over the what the do you mean I don't have a bed frame? You can imagine I was not happy. And then I thought, well, I could sleep on the futon. And, I decided I'm going to make the best of it. And so you want to see what it looks like, guys? Let's see if I can find you a picture. So you can see it hasn't been too bad at all. It's just different. Hold on, I've got a picture of what my bed looks like at the moment. And the good news is that, doesn't look too bad. Can you see it? Now, the funny thing is, you see the bed head? Plan B. The bed head is a whole lot of boxes covered in some flockatis, just because I had to make it. Oh, and the IKEA's units at the side there actually belong in my craft room, but I've sort of utilized them because I don't have any units in my bedroom. And that is because they were destroyed. So now, but what I wanted to show you, the one I thought that you all would really laugh at, because you know me pretty well. Oh, I got pictures of you, of the boxes. Hold on a second. Let me see. Where are we here? This is what my You know, I've got that fireplace area where I broadcast normally my Sunday broadcast from. Well, you know, that's what it looks like. So that's why I couldn't broadcast from there. It doesn't look quite like that now. It looks a bit better. Hang on. You thought I was joking about the boxes in the kitchen? Can you see those? Hang on. Can you see them? And then here they were up 3 deep. That was on the floor, and then also they were 3 deep up. And then, okay, what else have I got for you? Oh, the craft room, for those of you who remember the craft room. And that's what the boxes look like in the craft room. One side, the other side was the same. Hang on. And then the storage, the spare bedroom. This is after we finished clearing boxes. It still looks like this. Jody's saying, it made me smile how much care you took to set up your bed space even without the frame. It spoke to your character and it was charming. Thank you very much. I had to do something to feel I was at home because otherwise I would have freaked out. Now, I wanted to show you. All right, so you know I don't have any units in my bedroom, right? All my units in my bedroom were destroyed. So here we go. You know, I'm a plan B sort of person, right? So this is about, okay, I don't have any units to put my clothes in, but what can I do? So I took the storage boxes. How many of you are laughing? I took the storage boxes that I emptied and turned them on the side. And I now have a wall of I actually have that going on in various places at the moment. But now, as you can see, oh, there are some of the boxes that were on the top of the counter here. Oh, thanks, Becca. You think that's pretty ingenious. Well, you know, I get my jollies out of doing things like that. That makes me happy. So the dining room, quite honestly, the dining room is nearly, I've just got to sort of put things away, but how do you like that back wall? Becca's saying a total Mrs. MacGyver moment. Yes, I thought, you know, that's how I think, but I've got a better one. Would you like to see my better one? I think it was a better one. All right, so here was another thing. They took the window coverings from the craft room and put them in the bedroom because the ones in the bedroom were destroyed. You know, in the attempt of everybody, the fire people and everybody, you know, we ripped them down and they were destroyed. But what they did is they took the window coverings from my craft room and put them in the bedroom, but didn't leave me any in the craft room. And then, you know, my mind went to work, you know, my Mrs. MacGyver mind, and I'm going, I don't have window coverings. What am I going to do? So the first night, what I did is I took some of the wrapping paper, you know, that the movers had wrapped in, and I just pasted that across the wall. And I didn't like that very much. It looked ugly. It looked ugly. What am I sipping? I'm sipping coffee. Latte. Anyway, so I'm thinking, oh, thanks, Leo. So what I thought was, what have I got that could make a better window covering than this paper? And look what I came up with. Are you ready? You're going to scream with laughter on this one. I took bubble wrap. Can you see that? I took bubble wrap and pasted it on my windows. And I tested it at night to see if the light is on, what can you see through the bubble wrap? Very little. It's like having frosted glass. So you can see, for example, out that there's furniture on the other side, but it's not specific, right? So I was quite pleased with it. All right, let me see what else have I got here. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to make sure we know that it is. Yeah, thanks, Jeannie. Jeannie's saying ingenious. I was very happy with that plan. You know, I like my plan Bs. You know, this is like plan A is not working. What am I going to do for plan B? Do you know one of the things that really made me smile, I was so happy to find it, was my little bento box. You remember? That I keep my snacks in while I'm working on the computer. I don't know why that gave me such joy, but it did. Oh, I just want to give a quick acknowledgement while I think about it. Number one, we have got Charlotte's birthday coming up on the 30th, I think, 31st. I'll double check on that. Oh, Jody, perhaps you could double check on that. I think it's the 31st. And then, of course, we got Jody's birthday coming up on April the 3rd. So if I've missed anybody's, please let me know. Now, I also wanted to tell you about, there was this great moving guy that I ended up chatting to him, you know, and you know me, I like to know people's names and, you know, their history and everything else. And it was incredible. This moving guy said he came from Nova Scotia, but he was originally from South USA, you know, sort of Louisiana or somewhere. And Mississippi, or I didn't quite know why, but which it was, but originally the family came from there. I said, boy, that is incredible. And he said, no, actually, what's incredible is that for many, many, many generations now, we have lived in Nova Scotia. Oh, Charlotte is on the 30th. Thank you so much. Hi, Rinsky. And so thanks for the good wishes, Rinsky. I appreciate it. So what he told me was that his great-great-great-grandfather, or whatever it was, and grandmother actually traveled on the Underground Railway. Do you all know what that is? And they came across from Detroit, I think, eventually, and then headed to Nova Scotia. And I thought that was, I don't know, you know me, I'm going, wow, that is amazing history to have. And then there is one of the people who came to help me whose name I can't remember. And I know it's Amelia, or it's not Amanda, but it was a name that began with an A, and I just, for the life of me, can't remember. What a delightful person. Megan, of course, is my rock. Yeah, Megan helped me pack up and then helped me unpack, and she is so good. But I also got to meet Holly. And Holly, bless her heart, just could not stop enjoying my artwork. You know, she'd unwrap something and she said, oh, and you do these too? And I'm going, uh-huh. And then she'd be unwrapping something else and she'd find the magnets. And she goes, and you make the magnets too? And I went, yeah, I'm an artist. And then she'd unwrap something and she'd find a card. And she'd go, you make cards too? You know, it was just so cute. And I just said, you know, quite honestly, Holly, you could be here for a year and keep unwrapping things that would fascinate you. And then the thing that touched my heart, a couple of things touched my heart. First one was one of the people that came to help. They actually only had Megan and Holly the first day, but by the second day, they realized they had to send another crew in to help them. And so this Amelia, that wasn't Amelia, but bless her heart, she was so great, and I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. Anyway, and then with her came Taz. Now, it was the most amazing thing that all of you will relate to. I didn't know it, but before she arrived, they had said, no, come and help at Mama Sal's house. And by the way, she will want to know your name and your history. That's who she is. She asks everybody that. Well, apparently, I was so stressed out at the moment when Taz came, I forgot to ask her. And so I'm busy unpacking things and doing whatever. And then she stood there in front of me and she said, "Hi, you didn't ask me, but my name is Taz. But they did tell me that you would ask me, and you didn't." Well, I don't know about you, but it broke my heart that I would be so rude. And luckily, I could speak a bit of her language, but, I want to tell you something. I don't know why I was so devastated. I was so devastated. And I said, "Honey, you've probably heard enough about me to know that that isn't who I am." And she said, "That's right." And I said, "Thank you so much for stopping and letting me know." I said, "My mind is no longer functioning properly, and I do apologize most sincerely." And I made sure. I actually gave everybody a hug when they left, and I asked permission because, I just couldn't not do it. Okay, so now then, about the indoor garden. I'll do more about that on Friday, but just to let you know that Lucy the lettuce survived. Boy George and the Culture Club survived. Lenny the leek survived after the first harvest, and he's looking pretty good, actually. And we now have baby Leo the leek. Kerry the Savoy cabbage survived. Orville the onion survived, and that's fine. However, I did notice that when I brought everything in here, I automatically had a few flies coming to visit, and I made the Mrs. MacGyver flycatcher. The one thing I have plenty of is wrapping tape. And so here's what I did. I put wrapping tape around a glass, but with the sticky side out, and then some cling wrap on the top. And now I am catching ducks. Very simple. Did I name all? Yeah, Becca, I named them all. And we've got a few more coming. The Boy George and the Culture Club is because we have quite a few bok choys. So, and that's it. Trina's saying, "Sal, I love hearing you touch so many hearts. Beautiful soul." Well, I want to tell you something. I knew you guys would understand it of me. You understand that would break my heart, that I would not do it for this one person who had been warned that I would do it. All right, so now then, I've got some unboxings. I obviously unboxed a new mattress. Oh, that was fun. You would love this. So the new mattress came, and it's one of those ones where they suck all the air out of it. And when I came to put it in the house, the guy was working on the shower. Big story there still. He was working on the shower, and I thought, oh, man, useful, muscles. So I said to him very sweetly, "I hate to disturb you when you're so busy making my shower right." I said, "Oh, but I wondered whether you could possibly just help me bring this box inside, because you probably don't want me trying to do that at my age, do you?" And he said, "No, ma'am, no." So I said, "Thank you." So he said, "Okay." And I said, "Well, perhaps you could help me get the mattress out." And he said, "That is a mattress?" Because it was in a box like this. And I said, "Yes, sir, that is a mattress." And so he helped me pull it out of the box, and I said, "Watch this." And I started to take the plastic off it, the big run, and then it started to grow, because as the air got back into the mattress, it went from being this rolled up little roll to suddenly doing this. And he went, "I have never seen anything like that before." And I said, "Well, stay with me, buddy. You'll learn a lot." But I have to tell you, what an incredibly comfortable mattress, even on a floor. Even on a floor, how incredibly comfortable. So I'm glad I got that. Now then, what do I have next for you? Let me see. A few essentials that I had to buy. Oh, I was unboxing. I thought you'd like to see. I decided to treat myself. Today's unboxing. So I bought myself some earrings. And, you know, it's just like, I know it sounds strange, but it's like I was so busy buying the things like the toilet brush and the, what do you call it? The plunger thing. And what do you think? You like those? And what do you think? You like those? Yeah. So anyway, I got the toilet brush, the plunger, the mattress. The bed will arrive on Thursday, so next week you'll be able to see it, God willing. There you go. Maybe if I shone some light on it, it would help. Hang on, I can give you light. Hold on. Sorry, I haven't got my Diva light set up yet. That was my bad. But see if I can help you there a second. Because you know me, I aim to please. Flashlight. There we go. Bear with me 1 second. There we go. Oh. Can you see it yet? I tried. All right, so the other thing I unboxed today was some starter little seed pod things for when I get the garden going again. So that is exciting. I can't believe that didn't work for me today. Never mind. All right, so let me carry on. Day one, that was Friday. I want you all to think about when I got up. By the way, I was so exhausted on Thursday. And I'm going to show you how many steps I did in a second. But when I got up on Friday morning, I know this will probably not surprise a couple of you. Once I got dressed, I went out to visit the worm farm. Go figure that one. I just, I literally went out and I took a little bit of time and did a bit of weeding in the vegetable garden there. And then I opened up the worm farm and I said, I am so sorry I haven't been feeding you for 6 months, wormies, but here you go. And I bought them some, gourmet food. And I cried. Isn't that funny? It was such a nice thing to be able to do again. It was just to walk out and get my nails dirty. Weeding and things. Do any of you relate to why that would be important? It was weird. And the other thing was I got to see that my rhubarb is sprouting again. You remember that Betty Ann, my neighbor, and her husband Brian gave me that rhubarb plant as a housewarming. And it's survived the winter. That's wonderful. Forget-me-nots didn't forget me. They are growing, and that was wonderful. That's interesting. Jeannie's saying at her house she also had a fire, much more devastating than mine. But Jeannie's saying she feels the same way about her birds and the 2 feeders. Yes, I'm looking forward. I never got that far last year. Jodie's saying that she thinks that the thing about the worm farm, it's about routine and grounding my soul again. Yes, it's part of my that's how I was spent every morning. I got up and went and visited the worm farm. You know that. The good news was my strawberry plants made it through the winter. Spring onion has sprung. I mean, not just all the onion, but the spring onion and it looks like the parsley has made it through as well. But there was something about getting my nails dirty. And it's so funny, isn't it? Because you'd think with nails like mine, I wouldn't want them dirty, but I just went, oh, look at that. My nails are dirty again. Now, I've got one stack. You remember that stack of boxes that you could see in what I call the fireplace area? That's all electronics. I have lived the last couple of days with no television and no telephone other than myself, no landline. In fact, nothing electronic, no dust busters. I'm so looking forward. And Clarence the cleaner, for those of you who are not regular, he's my robotic cleaner. They are all boxed up and I'm not allowed to unpack them. They have to be unpacked by the electronic people who clean them all. It's all a system. And then to make sure they all work properly for me, and then I'm allowed to have them. Wow, how about that? Jeannie saying the last time she was at her home, by the way, it looked great with the siding on it, Jeannie. She said she spotted a bald eagle soaring slowly above it. A good omen indeed. Yes, absolutely. Now, it's about that huge washer. I've been using this little apartment washer. And those of you who remember my moving here, last January, I've got a washer here that's big enough that you can throw a party in it. It is big enough to put in a comforter, the sheets, and the pillowcases all in one thing. And I'm not joking. It is that big. And I don't mean a little comforter. I mean a duvet, a feather duvet, the sheets, and it is the biggest drum I've ever seen on a washing machine, which of course a single person needs if their name is Sal. And I want to tell you, I saw that washing machine and I literally did everything but hug it. It was just like, it is so good to see you again. Now, the insane part is they painted absolutely every wall except one wall in the laundry room. And the reason they didn't repaint it was there wasn't any damage to it. I'm going, I wish you told me that. I would have come and damaged it for you. So I'm going to have to repaint that. But, be grateful that the rest of it's repainted. By the way, I don't know, can you see on... I don't know if you can see, but my house is full of these little Post-it notes stuck to things like that. Why? They chipped my oven. That they chipped the white paint. Not a major, but it needs to be touched up. Insane things, like they replaced half the light switches with those sort of modern rocker ones, that you can do with your elbow. Do you guys know what I'm talking about, or do I need to take a picture quickly? But the other half are still the old-fashioned, little do that thing. By the way, Chris, are you still there? Because I forgot to say, Chris, how much I really enjoyed your gift that you put up yesterday, or Friday, when I said I couldn't do the broadcast. I want to tell you that touched my soul. All right, so let me think here. What else? There's so many little things, guys. So no phone and no TV. Now, this is a problem because no phone, no landline phone, meant that with all the chaos of the boxes and unpacking and people all around, I kept losing my phone. And in a normal Here you are, Chris. Chris, thank you so much for that gift you sent me. I want to tell you that when I saw that yesterday, or on Friday, it literally touched my soul. And, at a moment where I most needed it, and you probably wouldn't have known that, and you would just have your usual great sense of humor. But I want to tell you something. When I saw that gift, I literally, the tears came out of my eyes. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really, really needed it. So what I was saying was, without my landline, I couldn't find my cell. And I literally had to ask people, could you do me a favor and just phone my cell for me because I've lost it. And I haven't got my telephone back so I can find it. Do any of you relate to that? But I will say one thing. You guys can see here, right? The thing I love is here, my countertops are gray, so I can see my black phone. In the place where I've been for the last 6 months, the countertops were black. And I got news for you. It was impossible to find my phone in there, but luckily it was a much smaller place. So I had a telephone where I could ring the number. Now, you know what else I had forgotten? I think you guys know that this is on well water here. And what I'd forgotten was the temperature of well water. It is cold. And so the first morning I went to clean my teeth and went, oh no. And I'd forgotten that I need to leave water next to my toothbrush and everything to get to room temperature because, that way I can clean my teeth with it. Becca's saying my mom had me do that for her all the time when she was still here in the house. I don't know why she keeps track of it at her house by herself. Yeah, because she has to. She doesn't have her, her runner for her, Becca. I am sure there are a lot of things that she used to have you do that she's now doing herself. I have no doubt about that. Okay, so now then, let me see what else I got for you. Another thing that went missing. Well, I'm pretty sure it's gone missing. Is the cloche. How many of you remember that silicone bread making thing that I got? It was brown and I used to bake my bread in it. I was so looking forward to seeing that. And they must have put that on the destroy list. So very, very sad, but I'll order up a new one. I was very sad to have lost my beautiful leather backpack that I always traveled with when I was doing things like December and whatever. I always traveled with that backpack because it was ideal for putting my laptop in and all my leads and everything else. And it was leather and it was, good quality. And I was heartbroken. But when I was unpacking, I found another backpack that I didn't know that I owned. You see, the joy of having other people unpack stuff is they were unpacking things I had never unpacked on the first unpack. And so it was really strange that I found this backpack and I went, well, it isn't leather, but it's a beautiful backpack. And I didn't even know that I owned it. Somebody must have left it at my house or something. And then 2 days later, I found my leather one. It wasn't gone at all. I thought that I had it with me at the hotel and that must have left it there, but apparently not. So that is good. Another tip for you that I found out while I was gone, not a good idea to accidentally put your hearing aid in the washing machine. It did not do well. I cannot tell you what a mess it looked like when it finished. Health news. Health news, I heard from Yvonne today, because Yvonne looks after my health, apparently, that I am now eligible for my jab. She sent me a note and said, read your, and she sent me a text and said, pick up your email. I've sent you all the details of where you have to, register and do everything. Because isn't that wonderful that she cares about me that much? And by the way, I just before the broadcast, one of my neighbors came with a beautiful welcome home card. It was just so cute. So anyway, I'm due to get vaccinated, which is great. Jeannie, she is more than a terrific friend. She's family to me, as you know. I don't have any family in the country, and I've got people that I chose. Marnie is one family member that I chose, and Yvonne is a family member that I chose. Betty Ann next door is now a family member. Yeah, I think Yvonne is an angel as well. Now, steps-wise, you know that I told you that I wasn't going to even try to do a marathon this week because I had so much going on, but I thought you'd be interested to know that by midnight last night, I don't know if you can see this, but I had done 55,000 steps that week, and 56 is a marathon. I was 1,000 off. Now you're saying, Sal, why didn't you just stay and do the extra 1,000 steps? I want to tell you, because I was too tired. But I did do the math on it because I have a spreadsheet that I keep that on. And my average for the 5 weeks is still a marathon a week. So I'm very happy with that. I want to tell you the most painful thing of the week. And this, I guess you'd have to be an old fart to understand this. The stress on my joints was incredible. I felt it in my hips, and I felt it obviously in my feet, my ankles. And what I found was that it was dangerous to sit down. Because if I stopped moving and sat down, it was so painful. To get those joints going again. Does anybody relate to that at all? It was just like, yeah, I sat down, but can I get back up again? Jody's saying, oh, hang on a second, Becca's saying, that's quite amazing, the steps that I did. Thanks, Becca. I was quite proud of myself. I think I did over 11,000 on Thursday and 10 on Friday. All right, so Jody's saying, I'm impressed how you continue to look after your nutrition and fitness during this very stressful time. I actually knew that that was important. Oh, Becca's saying, I have that pain too, but I think mine's purely based on my weight. Yeah, okay, Jeannie's saying, yes. It's talking about Yvonne, I think. Yes, she's family. My friend Nancy, I consider my kid sister because I still like Facebook. She phones me regularly just to check in. I think it's really, you get two things. You get the family that God gave you, and then you get to choose, as many family members as you want. I have never let the fact that I didn't have family in the same country stop me from having family. I just found new ones. It's just like, hello. And Patty, my friend Patty, she always calls me sis. It's just like, I think it's really important to know that, and see, well, it's not the same, it's not blood. I got news for you, it can be better. I am going, more health news, I am going to have my A1C done this week. That's been a big thing to actually go and get that done, so I'm happy about that. I would say the biggest stress was the whole issue about the bed, as you can imagine. I don't know if I can show you a picture of this. I don't know if I can get close enough so that you can see it, but hold on one second. If you have any questions about the move or anything, just fire away. I'm just going through a list of things that I took notes on for you. Okay, there we go. That's just the one I wanted. How surprising is that? Jan. Don't know if you can see this, but can you see what happened to my hands? And luckily, I mentioned it to Jody, and she told me to put some polysporin on there immediately. And I'm pleased to tell you they're a lot better today. Jody, I've got a Band-Aid on here because that's where it cut the skin. So I just, put some polysporin on there today and covered it so that it doesn't get exposed to the elements. But the wrist is looking a whole lot healthier today. Thank you for your help, Jody. I appreciated it. So that is most of it. I still have an empty freezer. Oh, no, I don't, actually. You know what I did? I bought the stuff from the freezer from the other house in 3 bags, 2 Walmart bags that are insulated type bags and another bag. And I literally picked them up and I put the bags into the freezer because my freezer here is already full. And it's just like I haven't got time to sort all this out. So I just literally opened the freezer, dropped them in, and closed the lid. And the cleaning people told me that to get the smell out of the freezer, put vanilla in. And they did put vanilla in it. And I've got to say that the vanilla absorbs the dead body smell. And I did say to them, I kept saying that I bought a freezer big enough to store a body in case I need it. But I wasn't planning to have that smell, So I'm pretty happy that that seems to, mind you, I haven't opened up the freezer again since. I'll let you know about that when I get that far. So any other questions, anybody? Or anything that you would like to see on Friday? I thought if I got really smart, which I can be sometimes, if I chose to broadcast from a different room each day, each broadcast day, then that would make me tidy it up. So, but I was pretty sure that when the bed's in and everything, well, actually, it's not going to look any different in there. How did you like the wall color, by the way? Because, I've taken down the wallpaper and then put painted walls in. Maybe I can find it. Oh, here's something else that I found that I forgot that I had. This was a painting I did a long time ago that they managed to unearth. It's a big one, like this big. Hang on, what else? Where was that? Oh, remember I was talking about those lights that I bought? Here they are. And where's the wall? Okay, so that is what I did is in each room, I did an accent wall of that dark charcoaly, almost a blue charcoal. And then if you look to the side above the windows, you can see the contrast color. And because my dining room is, all my furniture is very light, I wanted that dark background for it. Oh, you can also see the carpet that I found to go underneath there. That's also gray because I had to change all my rugs because the new flooring is gray, not brown. You remember the previous flooring was like a taupe color, and now I've got gray. So my rugs wouldn't fit in here anymore. Oh, I tell you, it's never ending, people. Televisions. So I should have television by this week. The other thing I said was they wanted to, I'm still waiting for the shower doors to arrive. Oh, and the shower. Okay. Got to have this little discussion. For those of you who don't know, I had a wall-to-wall shower put in my bathroom. And they did that. They gave me this wall-to-wall shower. I don't know, that doesn't look very good. How can I draw this? So if this is the shower, it was meant to have a shower head, rain shower on the left wall. Okay? And it's got sliding glass doors on those barn door rolling things. You know what I mean. That was the idea. And it also was to have a hand shower so that as I got older, I could sit and use the hand shower to shower. Well, I didn't get that. Oh, and by the way, Four Seasons Hotel type fixtures, really beautiful, very modern fixtures. And I ended up with a shower head over here with what I call a Motel 6 tiny head to it, plus, a Motel 6 controller. And I was not happy. And I told them that. I said, you guys quoted me $7,000 to do this wall-to-wall shower. And you did not give me what I asked for. And so I'm not happy. Oh, we'll make a note for that. Jeannie's saying York, her husband, has felt much stress, started having a bad headache for 2 days. I took him to urgent care and he had a CT scan. Sees the doctor tomorrow. The CT scan was normal. That's good to hear. Please say a prayer for him. I'll put up thoughts and prayers for him because Jody will remind me. No problem at all. Hi, Kimmy. Good to see you. So, what they did, so I don't have my shower doors yet. And by the way, I don't have a mirror in front of me in my bathroom yet either. But I've got a little medicine cabinet on this wall. But, putting on your makeup at this angle, not easy, people, but who cares? So then they said, well, they would have the shower doors put in on Friday. I said, no, you won't. Nobody comes to my house on a Friday. I'm busy. And I actually said I don't want to see anybody until Tuesday because I needed to look after me. Do any of you understand that? I knew what the stress of that move had done to me. And it's not that I felt badly. I didn't. But I'm smart enough to know, you think about this, and Jeannie, I'm certain you and York feel the same way, that whether you realize it or not, the psychological effects of moving is huge. But the whole psychological effect of having been in a fire and losing so much, I mean, Jeannie lost absolutely everything. I luckily only lost some of it. But, it's like you cannot put a price on that. It's very, very, I'm very aware of that. Becca's asking me, Sal, do you actually have non-busy days? It's funny that you ask that, Becca, because, I was saying to one of my neighbors that I really had hoped that by this time now, had the fire not happened, I would be throwing paint around my spare bedroom, And back to making a mess and thoroughly enjoying myself. I knew it would take about a year to unpack everything. And now, of course, I'm back to square one. Hi, Kimmy. Kimmy's asking, Sal, how long have you been back in your house? I moved back exactly 6 months to the day from the day that I moved out, which was Thursday. Jeannie's saying that she actually bought some slacks or pants or trousers if you're in England. Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? I found, literally to get up this the last couple of mornings and go, instead of out of a choice of 4, which of the 12 different pairs of pants would you like to put on? And I'm going, yes, choices, or T-shirts. I got T-shirts back. I spend my life in T-shirts. And so to me, it was just like, such a wonderful thing. What else can I tell you about? The fridge here is slightly smaller than the one I had in the temporary accommodation. Sad. That was a nightmare. Because I forgot that this fridge was full, just about. And then I bought a full fridge of stuff from the temporary place. You know that. And then guess what? I also had ordered my weekly grocery list. It's been challenging, but sometime this week I'm emptying out the whole of the fridge and starting again, because there's too much in there. I'm going to be eating a lot of salads this week, people. And, and on Tuesday, I'm not going to go to Chinese tonight. You normally go to Chinese dinner on a Sunday. I've begged off that because I really, more than anything, I need some peace and quiet. Isn't it funny that I don't consider doing the broadcast the same way? Isn't that strange? Because to me, you're like family to me, and I want to update you. But anyway, on Tuesday, my neighbor Betty Ann has invited me over. She's doing a turkey dinner. Isn't that kind? To welcome me home. So that's really nice. And it's been great seeing some of the neighbors again. Really enjoyed that. And after the broadcast, I'm going to take a walk down to the post box and get some fresh air and just feel normal again. Wow. What a feeling. What a feeling. And, I was amazed that I've managed to get that organized. Oh, you can't see up there. But anyway, that I've managed to get that organized in 2 days when you see what it was like. Kimmy's asking, did I already do a tour of my house here? Yes and no. I did bits of it, and I'm not the sort of person where it'll ever be tidy enough to do a total tour. So, that's why I'm saying I showed pictures today of my dining room area, but, I've still got to put all the stuff that's on those wall units away, but at least it's unpacked and you can get the idea. The craft room now, of course, is a central place for unpacking. And my studio is still full of boxes now. And my bedroom still has, I've got to get rid of a lot of boxes tomorrow from my bedroom because they're going to need to bring the shower doors in next week. And so they won't want to be having to negotiate boxes. The other thing that I've got to think about is that the bed frame will arrive next Thursday. And I am going to have to lift an 80-pound mattress, then build the bed frame. Oh, by the way, the bed frame's really cute. Jody, let me think here. Anyway, it's an adjustable bed frame, but it has underbed lighting. So if you've lost something underneath, you can actually turn the light on and there are lights underneath it. The kid in me like that. And it's got plug-in USBs on the side. Hello. Don't I love that? Ah, thank you, Becca. I really appreciate that. You know, every little bit helps me keep Dear Mama Sal on the air. I really appreciate it. Can somebody assist me with the mattress, getting the mattress on the bed? Probably, I would think so. I think, you know, but I was looking at it going, um, I've got pretty good upper body strength. It's my lower body, of course, because I'm older, that doesn't have the strength as much. But I'm pretty certain I can tilt my mattress back up again. I won't strain myself. I won't do anything stupid. I can assure you of that. But I will ask neighbor to help if I can. And then what I thought was if I can get the mattress back up on Thursday on its side, I can then build the frame, put it all together, and then tilt the mattress back onto it, you know, without it being too much of a strain. That's what I'm thinking. Could be totally wrong. And then I think I can then move the bed to the right place. Well, you'll know on Friday. Watch this space. Okay, anything else you'd like to know about? How did it feel to be able to, you know, open the cupboard again? I don't know why that was important to me. I said, if I do nothing else, I need to do a broadcast from the cupboard. And I'm sorry I forgot to put the diva light in, but it will be there for the next one. To me, it's like, wow. You know, waiting to exhale sort of things. It really is an amazing feeling. And I'm hoping that now I can get on with the rest of my life. That's how it feels to me. Yes, Becca's saying, have you ever heard of the show, The 60-Minute Makeover? It's where they do some changes to your house in just an hour. Yes, I assure you that it is amazing what an hour can do. And I actually do it that way, Becca, just so that you know. I have the center part of my house at the moment set up. And as I unpack a box, I put all the stuff that's for the kitchen into one area. I put all the stuff for the dining room in another area. You understand? And I keep unpacking until I've got sort of these little groupings. And then what I do is all day as I walk backwards and forwards, you know, as I walk from the kitchen past that center thing and I see something for the bedroom, I just pick it up on my way. Does that make sense? And then I go and put it. Of course, I have no way to put anything in my bedroom at the moment, but never mind, except my IKEA boxes that I made. But I do know that's where it belongs. And then as I come back from my bedroom, after my frequent visits to the washroom, I pick up something for the dining room or for the kitchen or for wherever. And so all the time I am transporting things backwards and forwards. Jeannie, it is so funny you should say that. Jeannie is saying, for those of you watching on the replay, it's so nice to see the kettle again. And it was really important to me that I had that visual for you guys, because there's certain things that you guys, you know, got used to seeing, right? The kettle, the black and red, the indoor garden. I worked really hard to be able to give you those back again. And because I knew that for a lot of you, you enjoyed that. And by the way, the coffee maker and the latte maker on the side were really important to me. I said to Megan, I said, Megan, the most important thing for you to find and unpack is my Keurig coffee maker. Yeah, and I said, you know, after that, you know, life will be easier for you and me. But, you know, really important that you find that coffee maker if you want me to stay sane today. And she did. Jody, I cannot, it's funny you mentioned this to me and I didn't actually think it would be that important. And I've got one of those big Ninja food processors that is a, multifunctional thing, including a really serious smoothie maker. Boy, I want to tell you something, Jody. I've been working on a little $20 smoothie maker that quite honestly was leaking. To get back to the Ninja with that power, I literally, this morning, I wanted to make some celery juice, and I literally put 2 stalks of celery and a little bit of filtered water in there, and I hit the button, and that thing churned that into celery juice like in a heartbeat. And I went, oh, the power. It was so exciting. I want to tell you, Jody's saying the powerhouse ones make a world of difference in the quality of the smoothies, I believe. They do. It's like day and night, quite honestly. And it emulsifies better. Is that the right word? In other words, you don't end up with a lot of bits and stuff. It just seems to make a good job. Help me there, Becca. Becca's saying, I've always wondered if there's more than just hype. You mean the Ninja? I've got the professional one. Hang on. Okay, I'm just showing this because it's important to know. It comes with one of these bowls, Becca. And this is where this does dough and all sorts of other stuff. It comes with a huge liquidizer type thing. But what I love about it is it also comes with a small one, all right, where I can just put a daily smoothie in. I want to tell you, I agree with you. Jody's saying, Becca, I have my Ninja, wouldn't be without it, money well invested. I want to tell you something. I was so pleased to get that power back. And the other thing is, this is the blade for just the smoothie maker. Can you see how complex that blade is, Becca? All right. So, and by the way, sharp, you don't want to mess with the blades on this thing. I think what you need to bear in mind is what is expensive. Yeah, sure, it's a lot of money, but the $20 smoothie maker didn't make it past 6 months. And I'm pretty sure that this will last me my lifetime. Or pretty much so. Kimmy's saying, I had a Black & Decker food processor. I could find a separate processor for my Ninja. The Black & Deckers are supposed to be good, but this one bit the dust after the first use. Yeah, you see, it's that old story, I think, that you get what you pay for sometimes. And I saved up to get the big Ninja because I do use, I make a lot of healthy smoothies for myself. As you know, I love to bake bread and all those sort of things. So it's not that to me, it wasn't a waste of money. Becca's saying, speaking of kitchen gadgets, my dad was just gifted from my sister a spiralizer to make veggie noodles while he's on his keto diet. You know what I found? Hang on. Where did I put it? No, not in that drawer. I haven't sorted this one out yet, so. Hang on, guys. Okay, I can't find it in a hurry, but Becca, I have a hand one where I can literally run it down a carrot and it'll turn my carrots into spiralized strips. All right, so Jeannie is asking, quick poll, what brand of toaster do people prefer? We need to buy one. I have a toaster oven rather than a toaster. And mine is amazing because it's convection and it has a rotisserie in it. For a single person or two people, I swear by this because I very rarely, the only time I ever use my oven is when I was entertaining. And of course, I'm not entertaining anymore. So let me have a look here. I can't remember who makes this. Breville, I think. Yes, Brevetti. But it's a toaster oven, and it takes a full casserole dish. It's like it takes, if you want to warm up a full plate of food, it takes a full plate. I think what they call a six slice type toaster oven. You can put a full pizza in there, I think. Medium, not large. So happy to get that back. I'm so looking forward to cooking again. Isn't it funny that all the time I was in that other place, I didn't feel like cooking, doing any, yes, Brevetti, Brevetti. Really recommend it. And I think, I was going to say, I think it's the same make as my latte maker, but it isn't. It's very close to it, but not the same. I would think with a name like Brevetti, it probably is Italian, yeah. But I've had it. I've had it years. And it didn't cost a whole lot either, Jeannie. But if you like a real toaster, type thing. All right, so Kimmy's saying, I want to do a quick poll on what people think about the 2016 Nissan Murano S, if anyone has inexpensive one. Wow, that's a big question. You're talking about a car there. 2006, what is it you want to know? Because that question sort of is almost like, how long is a piece of string? What specifically would you like to know? Jody's saying, I can't remember the manufacturer of our toaster. It's a digital one that works like a charm. We've had it for over a decade. I'll ask Lionel when he gets home from walking daily. Okay. Becca's saying, my previous car was a Nissan and I really loved it. I want to tell you, my car before the Jeep was a Nissan Turbo, and I also loved it, Becca. I had it for 15 years and I really loved it. Jeannie's saying, we had an Avanti for years, but they discontinued the toaster. Okay. It's interesting that we're talking toasters and cars all at the same time. You want to know if the Murano has transmission problems? I don't know. That's what Google is for, honey. Google will tell you. I would Google, what is the average life of a Murano transmission? And quite honestly, it would be better information than a very small group of us can give you. Jody's saying, Kimmy, I love the Muranos. We looked at them and wanted to purchase, but our mechanics said the repairs are very costly on the Nissans. I think they're gorgeous. Okay, interesting to know. Thank you for that input, Jody. Yeah, I would definitely Google it, Kimmy, because you probably have enough information to keep you reading for a week. And they will tell you what the known problems are. One of the other things, Kimmy, that's a really good idea. All right. One of the things I do if I'm thinking about changing the type of car, I talk to my auto mechanic. And the reason that I talk to my auto mechanic is they know what cars keep coming in with problems. And I know when I came in with my Jeep, they said, "Oh, you bought the tank." And I said, "What?" And they said, "This is a tank, so this is going to last you a long time." And how long have I had the tank now? I had bought him in 1999, I think. I wouldn't talk to the dealer because the dealer is biased. What I would do is talk to the auto mechanics. Becca's saying, "Kim, do you have a regular mechanic who's a trusted mechanic in the area who could tell you?" Yeah, I definitely wouldn't speak to the dealer, right? The dealer is biased. But, my auto mechanic knows how many times they get a Jeep in, or how many times they get a Murano in, or how many times they get this in, and what sort of problems are they coming in with. That's why I think it's a good idea. Yes, and the other thing is, Kimmy, it's a good idea to have the specific year in mind. She said 2016, I think. And then there can be transmission issues with the 1 year and not the other. Yep. So you already have it. Is that what you're saying? So if you're not asking, I'm not quite sure what the question is then. You already have a Murano. Okay, so what is the question? Whether you are likely to have transmission problems with it, or do you already have them? And again, I would definitely Google it, and you will get more answers. And I agree with Jody. Some years, the problems with the transmission or whatever will be on specific models. Yes, and Becca's saying her dad didn't buy a Saab for that reason. His mechanic saying they're expensive and frequent repairs. Right. And so, this is the whole thing. But you know something, Kim? I also look at it this way. Some cars just are lemons, all right? When I think of it, I had my Nissan for 15 years and I sold it and it looked almost brand new. I've had my Jeep now since 1999, and it's had enough. It's time to retire it. But there's a part of me that goes, I haven't spent that much on it. I've had it, regularly serviced and properly updated and everything. But when I think about it, the cost, you've got to look at getting something new is way more expensive in some ways. So to me, I'm a great believer in looking after my cars. And even if you do have a transmission problem, sometimes the $4,000 you're going to spend on a transmission problem is cheaper than buying another car. That's how I look at it. Becca's saying, I would have had my Nissan a lot longer if it wasn't for the accident. Yeah, that totaled it. Yeah, that's true. Part of me grieves the loss of time I didn't get with it. Yeah, let it go. It's gone. Move on. Don't grieve. You don't need to, it's a car. It's wheels, and you got different wheels now. I think when we keep thinking back, Becca, that's a big problem that you have, right? Is living in the past, and that's why you get depressed. It's move on. Let it go. You had such fun with it while you had it, but it's gone now. Time to let it go and move on. And when you can do that, you remember my sadness about the bed. It's just like, okay, I'm angry. And I was angry. And then in a split second, I said, oh, I guess I get a new bed. And so, it's like, I don't want to grieve my old bed. I'm just angry because I had nowhere to sleep. But, now that I've got my mind fixed, boom, let me move on. I get a new bed. Jeannie's saying, I have a Nelly the Nitro. It's a Dodge Nitro, very similar to the Jeep, and I love it. Yes, I must say, I never, ever expected to like my Jeep the way that I do. I'm very seriously thinking of spending the money to get my Jeep, whatever's wrong with it, a couple of things, to spend the money and get it fixed and keep the Jeep. And the reason being, I look at it and going, I'm going to need a car for maybe another 10 years, probably, if I'm lucky. Will it last me another 10? Yeah, Kim is saying, I had a 2006 Nissan and I loved it too. Yes, I want to tell you that my experience with Nissan has not been bad, but that was 20 years ago. So I really don't know. But as I said, everybody there to their own experience. And Jody is saying, Becca, I grieve our car when it broke down and we needed to let it go. The repair was over 3,000 and it was too old to fix, really. You find a way and you make a new plan. Yes, and you move on, because if you stay grieving, you just end up in depression. It's not good. When it's like you have no joy in that. And I'm glad you like your new car, Becca. You like your Honda, right? So that's the joy. It's interesting. I could grieve a lot of things. And I choose not to. I choose to keep taking one more step forward as much as I can. Have any of you noticed how much sun is now coming through that window? Huh. I forgot about that. And that's why I'm in shadow now. I'm trying to make it so that I'm not. And so I think that the joy of getting home is going to be good for my psyche. But I'm also, and I have to say this, I am also very proud of myself for how I have coped with all of this. And I haven't been pretending. I haven't been putting on a show. I went through a couple of days in the midst of winter where I was lonely because I was in pandemic and I didn't, and I was, but that was about it. And then I went, Sal, if you're lonely, get on the phone and start talking to people. You have absolutely no reason to be lonely. With today's technology, you can, you have, and I literally had to shake my head and stop feeling sorry for myself. Becca's saying, I actually grieved my Mercury I had for 7 years, but I was able to thank it in a way, thank it for being reliable through all the memories. Yes, I agree. And Becca's also saying, it's not grief like I want to go back in my life. It's more grief associated with the time of life I was in. Yeah. And Jody's saying, I'm very proud of yourself. I want to tell you, thank you, Jody, but I couldn't have done it without you, Jody. You and Lauren have done a wonderful job on a day-to-day basis of keeping me sane. And all of the viewers who have been here and, traveled the journey with me. And Jeannie's saying, York is that's her husband, is looking forward to a natural light of our Gotham home. And so am I. We got bay windows for the living room and bedroom. I want to tell you, I missed the light. I think you all know that. I'm a light person. And so more than anything, I missed this light. And it is a rainy day. Well, actually, it was a rainy day in Vancouver. And the sun's just come out. So I find that's wonderful. So here we are. And I hope that I have given you a little snapshot just a little snapshot of how great it is to be back. And by the way, I even plugged Alexa in, and I have lived without her for 6 months. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 5 degrees Celsius. Tonight, expect a low of 0 degrees.
Okay, so we're... I really missed that. And because of that, I brought some seedlings in from outside because they think it's going to go down to 0 tonight. So guys, I love you dearly, and I hope that you can see that the biggest lesson in all of this is life sends us huge struggles. Now, Jeannie's struggle is way more difficult than mine. She lost her whole house and everything in it. But even so, my $100,000 worth of damage in a matter of minutes, and 6 months to repair. So to me, it is really important that you understand how you cope with things determines how your mental health will be. All right? And, I look at it and go, I am so grateful that my emotional intelligence was fairly good to start with. And as was Jeannie's. I was really impressed with Jeannie's attitude towards her incredible loss. And we will be as happy as we choose to be in life. Life will continue to send us, those curved balls. Like, what do you mean I don't have a bed frame? You can imagine. And, you would have laughed at me because I stood there and I looked at Megan and I said, Megan, I am in my own home. And right now I need to swear. And so if that is something you don't wish to hear, please leave the house for a second, because I am about to swear. I knew I needed to do that, to let go of that anger. And she said, feel free. I'd feel quite at home. And I went, fine. And I went, okay, I'm done now. Now, what's plan B? Because I found that when you can do that, when you can let go of the anger or the frustration or whatever it is, then move on. And it's been wonderful. I want to thank you all for being on the journey. And Becca, you've been around for a long time on this journey, and it's wonderful to see you grow as you go through all of this. Jody's saying, Jeannie, we'll be celebrating with you when you move back home too. Looking forward to that day. You said May, I think, Jeannie, if I'm correct. And so all of you, what do you want me to do next? What is it you're looking forward to now that I'm home? I'm quite interested to know. June 1. Okay, so I was pretty close. Obviously, you're going to see upgrades as they come, but rest. Yeah, I know. I really must say that the bed is surprisingly comfortable considering it's on the floor. So I know it's going to be comfortable when I get it on its bed frame. That's good to know. All right, I'm going to try and find some food. But I think first I'm going to take a walk down to the post box because I want to get some fresh air and just get back into that routine. And the sun is shining, and it's a pretty afternoon here in southern British Columbia. So this is DearMamaSal saying, remember to look after one another, and thank you so much for looking after me during the course of the last 6 months. I am so appreciative. You will probably never know that I am not sure I would have handled it as well as I did had it not been for the fact that I knew you guys were traveling with me. And I really genuinely thank you for that. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, look after one another, but please, please remember to look after yourself, and remember, one step at a time. One step at a time. Don't try and do everything at once. Bye-bye for now.